Deep in the heart of an enchanting Italian forest stood a quaint house made entirely of rustic red bricks. This wasn't just any house. It was a bustling kitchen where the aroma of fresh herbs and baked delights danced through the trees. Inside, 5 unique animals worked together, each bringing their own flair and skills to create culinary magic. Leo, the brave chef. At the helm of this woodland kitchen stood Leo, a majestic lion with golden fur and a mane that shimmered like the morning sun. His face exuded courage, and his piercing eyes revealed a fearless determination. But today, Leo wasn't hunting or roaring. He was donning a crisp white chef's jacket, his name embroidered on the chest. Leo's specialty? Pizza, the heart and soul of Italian cuisine. With his paws dusted in flour, he stretched dough with precision and passion, preparing for tonight's feast. Bruno the bear, the loyal sous chef. Beside Leo stood Bruno, a burly brown bear whose gentle demeanor was as warm as the hearth fire. Bruno's massive paws worked gracefully, chopping fresh basil and slicing ripe tomatoes. He was the perfect assistant, always anticipating Leo's next move. "Leo, the sauce is ready," Bruno called out, stirring a bubbling pot of marinara with a wooden spoon. Together, the lion and the bear were an unstoppable team in the art of pizza making. Tigris, the reclined critic. Across the room, sprawled on a plush, oversized sofa, was Tigris, a sleek and elegant tiger. Her striped fur gleamed under the soft glow of the kitchen lights. Tigris wasn't just lounging, she was the unofficial taste tester. A plate of freshly baked focaccia rested on the coffee table in front of her. "Don't forget to add a dash of oregano, Leo," she purred, her sharp senses always catching the tiniest details. Finn the fox, the furnace master. By the roaring oven, Finn, the clever fox, worked his magic. His agile paws adjusted the fire, ensuring the perfect heat for baking. His orange fur glowed like embers, and his bushy tail swished with excitement. "The oven's ready, Leo. Let's get those pizzas in," Finn exclaimed, carefully sliding a margarita pizza onto a stone slab inside the brick oven. Ella the elephant, the traditionalist. At the far corner of the kitchen, Ella the elephant wore a long white chef's coat that matched her grand stature. Her trunk skillfully rolled out dough for a batch of gnocchi, while a pot of polenta simmered nearby. Ella se especializó en platos tradicionales italianos, desde la sopa de minestrone hasta el tiramisú delicado. "Dinner isn't just about pizza," she said with a wink, her voice carrying a motherly warmth. The adventure unfolds. As the animals cooked, a sudden gust of wind blew through the open window, carrying with it a delicious challenge. The aroma of their creations had drifted deep into the forest, catching the attention of nearby woodland creatures. A chorus of hoots, howls, and chitters arose outside. Curious deer, raccoons, and birds gathered near the house, their noses twitching with anticipation. "We can't let them leave hungry," said Leo, his brave heart moved by the sight. "Let's prepare a feast for everyone." Bruno fetched extra ingredients. Finn stoked the fire higher, and Tigris reluctantly left her sofa to help Ella plate the dishes. They worked in harmony, their teamwork as seamless as a symphony. By the time the moonlit forest was aglow, the animals had prepared a grand banquet. Pizzas of every kind, pepperoni, margarita, and quattro formaggi, lined the tables. Ella's gnocchi and polenta were served in generous bowls, and for dessert, her tiramisu stole the show. The feast brought the forest to life, with laughter and stories filling the air. As the animals sat together under the stars, Leo raised a glass of sparkling grape juice. "To friendship, adventure, and the joy of sharing our love for food," he declared. And so, the house in the forest became a legendary spot where culinary adventures and warm camaraderie thrived. As the feast came to an end, the forest creatures thanked Leo and his friends with cheerful chirps, howls, and claps. The magical evening had created a bond that no one wanted to break. But just as the last plate was cleared and the animals were getting ready to rest, a rustling sound came from the forest's edge. The unexpected visitor. Out of the shadows stepped a small raccoon, his fur disheveled and his tiny paws clutching a crumpled piece of paper. "Excuse me," he squeaked nervously, his voice barely audible. "I heard about your incredible cooking. I've come a long way because I need your help." Leo, always the courageous leader, stepped forward. "What's wrong, little one?" he asked, his voice gentle but commanding. The raccoon unfolded the paper, revealing a faded map. "My family lives in a clearing far away. We love food, but the soil there is barren, and we don't have the right ingredients. I've been searching for the best chefs in the forest to teach us how to make something special, something that will bring us all together, just like your feast tonight." The friends exchanged glances. It was a challenge, but one that stirred their adventurous spirits. The journey begins. Early the next morning, the team packed their kitchen essentials. Ella carried pots and pans in her sturdy trunk, while Bruno hauled sacks of flour and vegetables. Finn balanced spices and herbs in his clever paws, and Tigris begrudgingly gave up her sofa time to carry a rolling pin and some mixing bowls. Leo, as always, led the way, his chef's jacket gleaming in the sunlight. The raccoon, whose name was Rico, guided them through the forest. The journey was not without its challenges. A river to cross. They had to cross a wide river with a strong current. Ella used her trunk to create a makeshift bridge, while Finn's quick thinking helped secure their supplies from getting wet. A stormy night, a sudden thunderstorm forced them to seek shelter. Bruno kept everyone warm with his thick fur, and Tigris entertained them with tales from her youth to keep their spirits high. A mysterious shortcut. Rico insisted on taking a hidden path through dense underbrush. There they stumbled upon wild truffles, a rare and precious ingredient. The cooking lesson. After days of travel, they reached Rico's village. The clearing was surrounded by towering trees, and the homes were small but cozy. However, the villagers were frail and their spirits low. "We'll help you," Leo promised, his voice steady and reassuring, not just with food, but with knowledge. The team set to work. Ella taught the villagers how to make polenta from foraged cornmeal. Bruno showed them how to knead dough for bread and pizza. Finn built a stone oven from nearby rocks, while Tigris demonstrated how to use wild herbs for flavor. Leo, of course, led the effort, teaching everyone the art of creating perfect pizzas. Rico's eyes sparkled as he learned to toss dough high into the air, catching it with surprising skill. "We can do this," he exclaimed, inspiring his fellow villagers. A new tradition. By the end of the week, the village was transformed. The once barren clearing now buzzed with life as the villagers prepared their first community feast. The forest friends watched with pride as the raccoons served pizzas topped with wild mushrooms and fresh herbs, alongside Ella's hearty polenta, and a dessert of honey-glazed berries inspired by Tigris. The feast wasn't just about food. It was about unity, hope, and the joy of creating something together. As the moon rose high, Rico approached the group. "You've given us more than recipes. You've given us a future. Thank you, back to the forest kitchen." The next morning, the team said their goodbyes and began the journey back to their cozy brick kitchen. Tired but fulfilled, they couldn't wait to return to their own creative space and dream up their next big culinary adventure. As they walked, Tigris yawned and muttered, "Next time, can we have an adventure that doesn't involve so much walking?" Everyone laughed, their bond stronger than ever, ready for whatever challenges and recipes lay ahead. The return to the forest kitchen. As the team made their way back to the brick kitchen nestled deep in the Italian forest, the excitement of their recent adventure lingered in the air. Along the way, they stumbled upon patches of wild herbs and rare mushrooms, which they carefully gathered. "These will be perfect for a new recipe," said Leo, his eyes gleaming with inspiration. When they finally reached their cozy kitchen, the group decided to commemorate their journey by creating a new dish, a fusion of everything they had learned on their adventure. The new creation. The kitchen buzzed with activity. Leo took charge, crafting a dough infused with wild herbs they had gathered on the way back. Bruno whipped up a creamy mushroom sauce using the rare truffles they found in the hidden path. Tigris, who had a surprisingly good palate for flavor balance, suggested adding a dash of citrus zest to the sauce. Finn, ever the innovator, caramelized nuts for a crunchy topping. Ella used her strength to knead dough for handmade ravioli, stuffed with a blend of forest vegetables. The result? A dish they named Forest Harmony Pizza, featuring a crust seasoned with wild herbs, topped with creamy mushroom sauce, roasted vegetables, caramelized nuts, and a drizzle of honey. Alongside it, they served wild ravioli delight, a plate of ravioli so tender it seemed to melt in the mouth. The Feast of Friends. That evening, the animals hosted another feast, inviting not just their forest neighbors, but also their new friends from Rico's village. The table was set under the starry sky, adorned with lanterns made from hollowed-out gourds. As everyone gathered, Leo stood and raised his glass. This feast is a celebration of unity, of the friendships we've formed and the lessons we've learned. Cooking isn't just about food, it's about bringing everyone together. The animals and villagers cheered, and the feast began. Plates were passed, laughter echoed through the trees, and stories of adventures were shared. A new mission. As the night deepened, Rico approached the group with an idea. "Why don't we create a traveling culinary school?" he suggested. "We could teach animals in other parts of the forest how to cook and bring their communities together, just like we did in my village." The idea sparked excitement among the group. "That's brilliant," exclaimed Ella. "We can share recipes, discover new ingredients, and spread the joy of cooking." The team agreed to set out on a new adventure, this time not to solve a problem, but to spread their love of food and community. They decided to name their traveling initiative the Forest Feast Academy. Journey ahead. Over the next few months, the Forest Feast Academy became a beacon of hope and creativity. The group traveled to different parts of the forest, teaching cooking techniques, exchanging recipes, and uniting communities. In a dense bamboo grove, they discovered pandas who loved dumplings but lacked the proper dough-making skills. In a snowy mountain village, they taught penguins how to bake bread that wouldn't freeze in the cold. Each new stop brought challenges, but it also brought laughter, learning, and new friendships. The legacy of the forest kitchen. Even as they traveled, their brick kitchen in the heart of the Italian forest remained their home base. They returned often to rest, create new recipes, and host grand feasts that drew animals from all over the forest. The kitchen became a symbol of creativity and unity, a place where anyone could come to learn, share, and enjoy the magic of food. Epilogue. Years later, as the team sat around their familiar wooden table, they reflected on their journey. The kitchen walls were now adorned with mementos from their travels, photographs, trinkets, and recipe cards written in different languages. Leo, looking at his friends, said, "This all started with a single meal shared among friends. Now it's grown into something we couldn't have imagined. And the best part? The journey isn't over." As laughter filled the kitchen once more, a knock came at the door. A young squirrel with wide eyes stood outside, holding a basket of unfamiliar berries. "I've heard of the Forest Feast Academy,"